The ruler of Persia left to wage war in a faraway land, leaving his daughter behind. His tyrannical right-hand man, Jaffar, takes over to rule, and uses this to his advantage. He gives the princess a choice, marry him or die in an hour. Little does he know that the princess's lover is already on his way to rescue her. This is who you play as, the prince. You'll go through 14 different levels to reach her, starting in prison. Here's where you learn the basics. You can jump, roll, climb, and walk. Walking allows you to go through spikes or to not fall off a ledge. You can also do this cool backflip. The goal of almost every level is to open the main door, which lets you progress further. In your way will be various traps and enemies. After falling down, you lose 1 HP and you begin with 3 life bars. Then there are pressure plates. The yellow ones open gates and the red ones close them. At the leftmost room, you'll find a sword. This lets you fight and progress further. You'll also get your first checkpoint, allowing you to save progress. After making your way back and going right, you'll encounter your first enemy. The combat is fairly simple, but hard to master. You can either attack, parry, or get into a struggle. You have to find a good balance between them, as the game later punishes you for not parrying or not attacking, forcing you to fall into gaps. And when it comes to the struggle, all you have to do is mash the attack button. Stepping on the pressure plate, you unlock your way to the barracks. Here you can find the first life potion, which restores 1 HP, but you can also find the blue potion. I thought it might give me some kind of a buff, but instead it was poison, dealing 1 HP of damage. It's an interesting design choice to make it blue, as blue seems benevolent, leading you to think that it would be a buff rather than poison. Just to clarify, you can also jump over spikes, but it's way riskier than walking over them. If you won't know how to progress, look out for a seeping light, just like here. By hitting the ceiling, you'll make it fall, allowing you to climb up. In the Catacombs, you encounter your first time section. You'll have to rush your way to the left through these gaps. Before reaching the next section, the game quietly introduces another enemy, the undead skeleton. It just lies on the ground. For now. After making your way through the next obstacle, the guillotine, you reach a pressure plate that opens the main door below you. But even though it seems like getting there will be easy, once you come back, the skeleton is brought to life. It has only 2 HP, but after dying, it reforms. So the only way to defeat it is by knocking it down. From there, the fight continues, and you have to push it into a gap. This introduces a new way to defeat an enemy, rather than just taking down its HP. The storage is where I found the first big life potion. It fully restores your health and permanently increases your HP. This is how the game encourages you to explore. Without it, you just focus on finding the exit as soon as possible. Throughout the whole game, I found only 5 of the 9 hidden potions, and had no problem getting through any level. After getting the potion, you'll encounter the first time you actually have to think about progressing further, rather than just linearly pushing ahead. The guard here is positioned ideally, so that if you jump to the other side, he'll just force you to fall down. So to get through him, you have to make your way there from the other side. The difficulty also ramps up here, limiting the space you have to fight. You actually have to keep attacking instead of just punishing the enemy by parrying. You also encounter an armored guard, but even though he has a shield, he doesn't use it, and just has 1 more HP. He does parry and counter attack more often though. After opening the door to the next level, you stumble upon a mirror. Jumping through it, you lose 1 HP, and the Dark Prince appears. I feel like this suggests the inner struggle of the prince. As the game progresses, it gets more difficult and unforgiving, making you fight with your own self to progress further and not give up. In the courtyard, the Dark Prince even sabotages you by stealing a big life potion right in front of your eyes. The final section of this level fully tests your fighting capabilities, as you have to fight 3 enemies in a row, each with more HP. If you lose all your health during the first fight, you basically have no chance of making it through. If you make it through, you can jump down to get a life potion, and below it is another one. But this time it offers a trade-off. If you learn how to fight properly, you won't even have to go down here. Otherwise, you have to risk all your progress just to restore 1 HP. After making it through these spikes and pressure plates, you arrive at a mini-boss. The music changes, and even though I anticipated some kind of a new mechanic, the fight is once again absolutely the same, with the only difference being the animations and the boss having more HP. After making it through, the Dark Prince sabotages you again by making you fall all the way to the wine cellar. But after falling down, you notice a new green potion, just out of reach. This makes you conflicted. You just lost progress, but with the new potion there, you're excited to find out what it does. But the game gets even more unforgiving. After making it through a few difficult rooms, you can find yourself completely stuck and realize that getting there was absolutely pointless. What's even worse is that once you reach the potion, full of anticipation, it just does this. Several minutes of trying your hardest just to levitate a bit. You can also get stuck here once again. And to bait you out, there's a big life potion right over here. At first I thought it was impossible to make it in time, as I tried several times, and every single time the gate closed right in front of my eyes. But eventually I somehow made it, and made my way to the warehouse. In the next cutscene, the princess seemingly talks to a mouse without any further explanation. After getting through this time section, you get stuck here. I even restarted the level, thinking I missed a pressure plate or stepped on a red one. The game even plays this sound, suggesting you failed. But eventually, if you wait for a while, the mouse appears and opens the gate for you, allowing you to reach the exit. I don't know if this was just a coincidence, but it was seemingly foreshadowed as a tip before the level starts. Timing and patience are virtues, but this appears in the later levels as well, so I don't know. You be the judge. You can find another green potion in Palace Reservoir, but this time it inverts the screen. As far as I know, this is completely optional, as you can just ignore it, drink the big life potion, and finish the level without ever interacting with it. So it's really just for completionists. In the garden, I noticed one ceiling slab to be a bit lighter than the rest, and jumping actually made it fall, leading to another big life potion. And here too. You can skip the fight entirely by just making your way to the other side. Balcony builds on this even further. At the beginning of the level, you can see a big life potion just out of reach, and to get to it, you have to find the one slab of ceiling that won't fall. Later on, the game even forces you to discover this, thanks to this seemingly impossible section. As you run to the other side, the ceiling falls down, covering the red pressure plates, allowing you to reach the high tower. Then you get this tip: the Dark Prince cannot be defeated by ordinary means. After climbing the tower, you encounter the Dark Prince head on. As you come near him, he attacks you straight away, but if you hit him, you get damaged as well. And defeating him defeats you too, which leads to the only possible solution: stop fighting yourself and integrate the shadow within. Well, again, the only things left to do is defeat Jaffar. He has 3 attacks: a typical melee attack, a sort of energy beam, and then a force field. It doesn't change much anyway. Instead of parrying, you just dodge and attack as usual. After hitting him 3 times, he disappears and spawns the same miniboss from the earlier level. Defeating him as well, you run to the princess's room for the final encounter with Jaffar. The fight is exactly the same, but this time, he doesn't spawn anyone. Defeating him, you finally save the princess. And from that day on, he's not just her lover, but the Prince of Persia. And that's the whole game, so if you liked it, hopefully you'll check out the next video. Take care.